All right. Good job
I
remembering.
can take my
wouldn't.
note off my computer now.
And can you hear me okay? This is my first time using these earphones.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I always made fun of people hiding in the car when they're doing their Zoom calls, but here I am hiding so everybody can see in my car in the passenger seat. I'm super excited about today's Zoom call, and I have a few things that I wanted to share before I kind of open it up and introduce our special guest, who I'm so excited to have on. Okay, so the law of process. As I'm reading this law and kind of going over this law again, I'm telling you, since I don't know where this book has been all my life, but as each law comes about, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have been learning that since Plexus. And so this law was no different than the first two laws, the law of process. So I wanted to share a few things. It was the hardest law for me. And I didn't realize that I was learning a law, but it's the hardest one because we live in a generation and a culture and a world that thrives on immediate gratification. We want everything right now and as fast as it can come. We have fast food, high-speed internet, jet planes, Amazon Prime, whatever it can get to us faster. And I think that translates into network marketing also. And what we do, if we're not seeing instant success, if we're not getting that instant gratification of a paycheck, it takes too much work, and we are a lazy generation and we don't like to do that work. And so I think this is one of the hardest laws because I've been spoiled, and I know just the people have been spoiled, not only on the business side, but also the products. You're hearing all of us say all the time, it didn't take you 5 days to get this way, it's not going to take you 5 days to get better. We want that instant gratification, and when work sets in, we're like, never mind, I'm over it. We don't have to wait for much. I love how this translates in every area of our life, and that's what I feel like Plexus has helped me start to learn these things, and I'm seeing how it translates in our lives. And so I wanted to share a couple of quotes that I have from Paul Tripp, who's one of my favorite authors. And he says, God's work in you is a process. It progresses not in 3 or 4 huge moments, but in 10,000 little moments of change. I love that. And that it does translates in everything, in motherhood, in housekeeping. We start to hate, or I get sad when I see it, but I know the feeling. Every day in and day out, we're doing those mundane things like doing the dishes, changing the dirty diapers, maybe giving a spanking or correcting, bad behavior for the 100th time, the same bad behavior. And we kind of get that feeling of discouragement, like, when's it ever going to change? Well, that is the process. If we stop doing all of those little mundane things, our house is a mess, dinner's not cooked, our kids turn out to be, hooligans that are running amok because we're not doing those small little things that create that change or that outcome that we want. And we get tired of doing those small steps, but that's what it takes. That's where it's at, the law of process. Then a couple things just about this business, or actually I was going to read a couple more things. As I was trying, I'm a hot mess. And so when I try to start to do these things, then things come to my mind and I'm like, oh yes, I have to say this. And oh yes, I have to say that. I think of the law of process as a rhythm. And if you guys have been following me for any time, we've been working on a rhythm in our home and on our schooling and all of that. And so rhythm, if you look up rhythm, and I think of rhythm as a process, just that continuing movement. Rhythm, the definition of rhythm is noun, a strong, regular, repeated pattern of movement or sound. Think of all the things that bring a sense of peace, a heartbeat, the seasons, new mercies every morning. They're all rhythms. They're processes that get us, it's God's way of putting one foot in front of the other for us and bringing about different changes. it isn't easy to create a rhythm or to keep on a process. It's sometimes much like CPR. So I've written this before too. CPR, we do the work, we're breathing, we're compressing, and we keep doing that until life starts forming or we start to see those changes happening. But in the process of doing it, sometimes you can feel like I'm getting nowhere. And so I want to say, don't get paralyzed by that. You know, we see these big pictures and we see diamonds like Amy and Bridget and Rhonda, and we're like, we'll never get there. Don't be paralyzed by that big picture. Let that big picture kind of be your fuel to put one foot in front of the other and do those things that they're telling us to do, and not get stuck not wanting to do those mundane things every day, day in and day out things. On the flip side, I think we can get really busy. I hear people say all the time too, I'm too busy, I don't have time to do that 15 minutes of IPA or hour of IPA, hour power hour. I am that way. If you know me, I don't sit down. I eat standing, I sew standing, I do everything standing, right? I am a master of taking 1,000 steps to nowhere. A lot of steps, keeping busy, going, and not really getting anywhere. Always busy, but never really getting anything done. I think it's easy to get up in those feelings of exhaustion and exasperation, and we can get so busy that we're not focusing on those essential things, which brings me to my next kind of key word, essential living, that translates process in our business. If we're spread too thin, it's almost always by choice. We're choosing to do those things, going to do our IPA, but scrolling through Facebook for 5 hours, you know? We don't realize how much time is robbed in this 1,000 steps to nowhere. Essential living means weeding out those non-essential things so that we're able to do well the most important things. So I kind of want to leave you with those few little nuggets before I introduce our guests. But I just wanted to share those things. You know, don't be afraid of the process. Amy's probably going to share a lot of great things. She's amazing. And don't be afraid and don't be intimidated by that big outcome or that bigger picture. Write down what she's telling you. Write down what our uplines are telling you to do. And don't be afraid of doing those little steps to get where you need to go. And at the same time, don't get caught up in those 1,000 steps to nowhere, being busy all of the time and caught up in all the yucky stuff. Learn how to write down your IPA and do that, and do it well so that you can do it well and eliminate the rest of that stuff. So without further adu, I'm going to introduce our guest speaker for tonight, Amy. I'm so excited, and my mom asked her if she would come on, and of course she's just amazing, and so she agreed to come on and share with our team, which do not take that for granted for one single second. For Amy is not even an upline or a sideline. She is coming in and infusing belief and, you know, what she does into our team. She's getting nothing from it. So this is amazing. And so I'm so thankful. Amy's a mom of 7 kids. If you guys have seen the Plexus bust, that's her and her family. Both she and her husband, Eric, are Diamond ambassadors. And so we're so blessed to have her on our call tonight. So thank you so much, Amy.
You're welcome. Wow, Rossi,
so
thank you. Thank you, Mama Darcy, for having me on. Guys, it's funny, she's introducing me and I'm thinking, I know every single person on here, I think pretty much, like following y'all, and yeah, and y'all like pour into me too. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I try and tell people, the season of life I'm in right now, like I consider y'all my friends if you're on my Facebook feed, because that's all I have to give. I don't have, you know, I have 7 kids and a husband and a big business. And so we're just focusing on that. So I love, my outlet for friendship is pretty much Facebook. So if y'all are my friends on Facebook, thank you for pouring into me. So the law of the process. So I actually had to go back and refresh myself on this when Rossi asked me. And you can see my book. This is my book. I've done this book study so many times. There's like notes after notes after notes in this book and highlighted, because when I first started Plexus, if you would have told me to read this kind of book, I would have not done it because of the first phase. I did not know what I needed to know. And so when I first started doing this, I was like, I couldn't see diamond. There's no way. I couldn't see a jewel level. I was just working and putting one foot in front of the other because I had belief in my upline. My upline is Stephanie Abrams. We went to church together in Alaska. I think she just turned 30. I don't even know if she's 30. And so when she told me about Plexus, like, I didn't look at her as a leader because she was younger than me. She had one kid at the time, I think. And so we were both, it was like the blind leading the blind. I had no clue how to lead anyone in Plexus. And I was sort of prideful when I did start to lead and thought I could do it better than everyone else. So that's part of this process too. And I will tell you, you will go through this. Just learn to humble yourself, because every single leader in my downline, when they start their own team page, usually under the guise of their upline's team page isn't as exciting. So they start their own because they're going to do it better. And then they start a new training because they don't really like their upline's training and they're going to make a new one. And so guys, all of these things, it goes through that process of becoming a leader. And I will tell you, I've had to eat a lot of humble pie because of things that I thought I could do better when my upline was super capable. And that's just what I see now. So I want to let y'all know that this process is exactly what Rossi says. If you can't see the future, I know for a fact Rossi could not see it. She could not see it. She probably didn't start seeing it till she was Ruby, maybe. I don't know, probably Ruby, right? Because I know that you were not like gung-ho 100%. And now it's becoming reality to you. But if you would have you had belief in Bridget. And so you kept taking that step forward because you knew that Bridget did it. And so you didn't think you could do it, but you were just going to trust Bridget and keep moving forward. And so guys, that's what you need to do. You need to trust me. You need to trust Bridget. You need to trust Rossi, Mama Darcy. You just have to trust that God is working in Plexus. And I'm a Christian. And if you're not a Christian on here, that's okay, because God can use you too. But I will tell you that God is all over Plexus, because the people that are the leaders in this company are people like me that have 7 kids, 11 kids, and we're all like, we are not doing network marketing. Who does network marketing? I'm not bugging my friends at church. I'm not going to, I'm not going to post on Facebook. I'm busy homeschooling my kids, baking bread, grinding wheat, sewing clothes. I mean, doing all of that stuff that we think is great, which is. But guys, God has another path for us. Our life, Eric and I, would be so different if we had not trusted. Oh, what's up, Jenica? But our lives would have been so different had we not have just kept doing one step in front of the other. So if you're a gold on here, a silver, a gold, a senior gold, I want you to just keep putting one step in front of the other. When you get those moments like Rossi was talking about during the process of, wow, I'm too busy. I'm homeschooling all of these kids. I'm trying to keep my house clean. All of those overwhelming feelings. Get back to the point where what is making you busy? It is scrolling Facebook. I promise you. It is scrolling Facebook. If your whole feed, and I'm just as guilty as y'all, that's why I'm talking to myself here. When I scroll Facebook, it's all Plexus people. I'm not trying to sign up Plexus people. I can't. So what do we need to be focused on? So I want to encourage y'all to start a separate list in your Facebook feed that says potentials. Everyone that is not Plexus, that is not all of that, all the people that are not Plexus or in your team, other people's team, and that is the feed you're going to pull up for income producing activity. You're going to pull up that feed. And you are going to go through and comment, because remember, this is relationship marketing. You're going to go through and comment on all of those people's, on all their like kids' pictures or whatever every day. Because you spend your time commenting on Jenica, even though you love her and you love seeing her kids, that's not income producing. So Jenica is going to understand that you still love her, but you need to work your business because you have a ton of kids. And you do the same for Jenica. Realize that she loves you too. There's no bad blood, but you don't have time to be commenting on each other's stuff all the time. Does that make sense? So focus. I'm telling y'all this because you will get burned out. This is like the law of the process. I'm going to throw some burnout in there. You will get burned out with Plexus, and it will not be enjoyable to you if you don't do the first stuff that you should be doing every day, which is posting on Facebook, reaching out to 10 people. I say 10 people a day. Some people say 3 to 5. 10 people a day, find some new groups to join. I will tell y'all, I have had huge success. I don't have success on Instagram like Bridget does. Keep doing that because she is obviously it works huge. I still have not figured it out. I'm still trying. But when we move to this town, and this is what y'all should do, take a picture of your cute family and post it in your town's homeschool mom group or in your town's crunchy mama group, and post a picture of your cute family and say, hey, I've lived in this town for about 10 years, or you can say all my life, and I've been so swamped the past 5 years with babies or whatever you're doing that I haven't had a chance to get out and do things. What would you recommend we do in this town? And post a picture of your family. End with a question. Guys, we signed up 6 people last week from groups. Like, we have gotten so many people from groups. And I knew Christy White, who's a diamond, grew her whole business with groups, but I couldn't figure it out. That's what you do. Post a picture in the horse group, Darcy, like you're all into like horses and ranch. Post a picture in the Montana farming group and say, hey, we have all this land. We're looking to get some animals. Look at this beautiful view we have. What animals would you recommend? And then as soon as they start talking, you friend, start private messaging, and then they're going to see all your Facebook stuff. So that I've had huge success with that lately. But I want to talk to y'all just a little bit about Sarah Marble. She is one of the people that I look up to. I love her. I taught at Super Saturday with her. And there is a difference in Sarah Marble and Amy Paul. Huge difference. I say things as a leader I should never say. I open my mouth when I should not open my mouth. And she doesn't. She is always wisdom and grace. And she did not learn that, right away. She did not hit diamond till she was in Plexus 4 years. She hit silver at her 7-month mark, if you've ever heard her story. So 7 months it took her to hit silver. What if she would have given up? She would probably not be a John Maxwell leadership coach right now. She would probably be not speaking on the stage at convention and looked up to as one of the #1 trainers around. If she would have stopped. What if she would have said, oh, my husband signed up under me, my sponsors gave me one, and my mom signed up. I'm a loser. Like, I can't sign anyone up. No one trusts me. Her influence wasn't there in the beginning. Do you understand what I'm saying? Her influence wasn't there. You have to grow your influence. Guys, I am in phase 5 right now because people just listen to me now. Like, I go into stores and I can get people signed up like this. And so can Eric, because we went through all of those steps of failing and not doing what we should be doing. And then it just works. And you don't know how it works, but it works. And it comes with time. Can y'all hear my kids screaming in the background? No? Okay, they're like playing tag, and it's an old house, so you can hear everything. I'm like, my husband's in my clawfoot tub right now, just chilling. So funny. But anyways, when I walk into a store now, I can talk to anyone, and I am in such a strong leadership role that I feel like if they don't listen to me, that they're the ones missing out, and I just move on. And I know some of you are not there yet, and I wasn't either. I don't think I fully believed in Plexus until I was an Emerald. When I was a senior Ruby, the back office switch happened, and I called my upline and said, I'm not doing this. I don't need this money. My husband made good money. I'd rather live out of envelopes than deal with this. Like, it's driving. And I told her I was quitting. Okay. I was almost an Emerald, and I told her I was quitting, and she knew I was just blowing smoke. But guys, I've been there too. I've gone through the hard times. But the thing is God is refining you. He is making you who he wants you to be. I would never have stood on the stage and talked to people. And I did the biggest Super Saturday there was in Plexus in Dallas with Sarah Marble, the girl that I looked up to from the beginning. Tell me that's not God. And I kept telling her, Sarah, this is a full circle moment for me. And y'all are going to feel that way too. And I know Bridget feels that way, because you get to the top and people start thinking, wow, you did it. But when you're at the spot you're at right now, you don't see yourself as a diamond. You need to all see yourself as a diamond, because I promise you, if you stick with this, in a year, 2 years, 3 years, you will be a diamond. You will be. There is no doubt in my mind. You're just sifting for gold. You're going through the process and you're sifting for gold. You could be like Julia Carty, who didn't get her rock star till she signed up number 43. Her second rock star was number 72. What if you've signed up 40 people right now and you still haven't got your rock star? My upline has 16 level ones. 16. She signed up 16 people. Bridget Ryan has signed up, what, 300? Okay, so do you see Bridget's a diamond and my upline's a diamond? 16 people, 300 or 400 people. So don't compare your journey to anyone else. Okay, you are not Bridget Ryan. You are not Amy Paul. You are not Rossi. You're not Mama Darcy. You are yourself. So go through those processes. They're going to hurt a little bit. They're going to hurt, but it's for your benefit. I will tell you that now I'm a better mom, a better wife, a better everything, I feel like, after learning all of this stuff, after self-development and growing. It's been so good for me. You know how y'all like read mom books? Like I used to always be, like I know Rossi was like this too, and Jenica. I was always in books to be a better mom. Every night I went to bed saying, Lord, I messed up today. I need your help for tomorrow. And I know that I got better with the more books I read. It was a process, right? And that's the same thing with Plexus. This is a process. So just embrace it and don't compare your journey to anyone. Eat humble pie if you have to, and don't be prideful. That is the biggest thing I can tell you with Plexus is do not be prideful. I do see a lot of leaders in this company, and I'm like, wow, I hope I'm never like that. Like, keep yourself humble, keep yourself thankful and grateful, for this opportunity and that you can bless others. Rossi said, thank you for coming on this call. She didn't have to do this. No, I have to do this because God gave me a responsibility to other, people in this company to help them grow. That is my responsibility, even if I don't make a penny. And I think once you get to that point where you think about that, then you're starting to get in the groove of being a leader instead of just thinking about yourself. So I don't know, what questions do you have for me, Rossi? Do you have any?
Okay, sorry, I had to figure out. I'm using my phone for the first time. I had to figure out how to unmute myself. Gosh, you answered. I'm going through our little notes here, and I think you answered a lot of them. Is there any questions from anyone else? I want to open it up in case anyone else has questions too. I don't want to hog it.
I would like to know if she could expound on how to grow. She said, grow my influence. I'd like to know if, Amy, if you could expound on that a little bit.
Okay, so how I believe growing your influence it's a tricky subject, okay? Because some people just have it, like they walk in a room and they're like an influential person. Like Rossi, from the beginning I met her through social media, instantly caught my eye. She's super influential in homeschool mom communities. There's just people that are influential. And then there's some people that just like no one really listens to a lot and things like that. I would tell you that the way you grow your influence is by always being positive on social media. Always, always being positive. No one wants to follow people. Your life needs to look like a beautiful story. You don't put all your drama on there. Right, Rossi? Like your life, I look at your social media, your pictures are beautiful. You're painting a picture. That's how you grow your influence. So you're basically tantalizing people into your life. And they're thinking, wow, look at her. Like, look at her being a great mom. Look at her being a good wife. Look at her being a good leader. And so you just have to make yourself appear more influential until you grow in this process to actually be influential. And you will become more influential the more confident you get in Plexus. And the only way you get more confident is by reading lots of books. I love the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you have not read that, that is the key book, number one, I recommend to everyone before any other leadership marketing book. Get past the first couple chapters. They're really, really hard. But then once you get past them, it's great.
Mom, did you have a question you were going to ask, I think, too?
Yeah, Amy, what things have you had to change from the time when you were first an ambassador till now? What are some of the main things that as you got started that you knew you had to change personally or business wise?
I think at first I was just like cheesy graphics and posting because I was told to post. So, I was posting twice a day and reaching out to people with copy and paste messages and all of that instead of being genuine and real. And so I always encourage everyone to go back to the people when you first started because you were so new, to go back and apologize and say, hey, when I was first getting started, I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue what these products or the business opportunity was about. Would you please give me a second chance and these products a second chance? So I've gone back and apologized for things because I truly feel like when you get people on Plexus, you are their health coach. You don't just sign them up, put them in your group page and think they're just going to go. Like, they're not going to go. Like, you have to be on the phone with them. Like, they just spent $125 because you told them to. So you need to be like on the phone. How much water are you drinking? How many probio and bio cleanse are you taking? Like, you need to be confident talking about the products. And when they're saying to you, I have a headache or I feel sick, you're saying, remember I told you about that. Do you remember the Candida die-off form I sent you? Let me send you some more information. And just keep reassuring them. Does that make sense? So you're a leader because you're making yourself be a leader in their life. You're not just signing them up and leaving them. I guess I messed up so much at the beginning and that kind of thing. I just wanted numbers. I just wanted to sign people up instead of actually treating each person individually and realizing they all spent this kind of money and I needed to help them along.
And I think a lot of times too, like with me, I didn't follow up with them out of fear. Like, I'm a non-confrontational person. I'm a blue. I like to party. I think that's where kind of that influence comes in too. I think naturally blues are influential because, everybody wants to party. And so that comes in there. But I didn't like to follow up on people because I didn't want to hear that they had that headache. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You have a headache. What do I do? But I think that comes along with in the law process when I had posted originally the kind of the bullet form of what each of the laws represented. And I highlighted in this one that successful leaders are learners and the learning process is ongoing, a result of self-discipline and perseverance. So when he says that everybody can learn these laws, you really can, but part of that was I didn't take the time either to learn about the products and to learn about the business and to learn about all of that. I was just hoping that, it would be an accidental business like everybody says that it is, but it's not that. Even for those people that it's an accidental business, they did their homework. It's not magic. They were doing the things, that they were supposed to be doing. And, it takes learning and checking up on people. But again, I said I didn't want to hear that they had a headache out of fear, but really that was my selfishness and my pride too. I didn't want somebody to tell me that they didn't like the products or whatever. And now it's, because I know what I have. So I have no problem talking to people, but that was a process. That's doing what Bridget and Rhonda and Amy and all these videos that I'm watching, I'm doing what they're telling me to do. I'm not afraid of that. But in the beginning, I didn't do those things and was just expecting it to be some magic setup,
Mm-hmm.
But it really is, trusting that process and being willing to learn. And like you said, being willing to eat that humble pie. I started this the most prideful person but under the flag of humility, because I would always say, super humble or wouldn't accept compliments. And Bridget was always getting on me for that because somebody would say, oh, you look so cute. And I would say, no, I just, whatever, so false humility, it's all pride. It really, when you said like lay down the pride, it's probably the worst. Absolutely. Even for the most humble person, I think sometimes it's our pride that doesn't allow us to learn, that doesn't allow us to, do what people are telling us to do. And we don't want to take that next step because we don't have the time or we don't have the, it's all the root of it's usually pride or laziness and not wanting to do the work. I'm sorry, but I'm just speaking like you. I'm speaking from experience. I'm preaching to myself too, because this is all what I'm learning, you know. I also loved what they said in this law too. And this is what I think, Amy, like we see with you and Eric happening, and Bridget and all of those people. The old saying, champions don't become champions in the ring. They are merely recognized there. That's true. If you want to see where someone develops into a champion, look at his daily routine. When we look at you and Eric and Bridget and Rhonda, and, you know, we see you up on that stage, it feels like, you know, we want to say all those excuses come into the picture, like, oh, I'm just not that flashy, or I don't have that much influence, or I'm just not that kind of leader, you know. And we're really throwing all of their hard work, you know, we're making light of their hard work, because behind that walking on the stage, behind that diamond name tag, is a lot of hard work and a lot of process, you know. That's why I think this is the hardest law so far that we're only on law 3, but I've read ahead because, you know, that's what I do. So it's the hardest law because it requires the most work, and we trick ourselves into thinking that these other people just have something that we don't have, you know, and it's not true. And we realize, and this is making me realize, gosh, these people have this because they've done the process. They've gone through the process, and sometimes it's a marathon, and they took 4 years to get there. And sometimes it's a Bridget and they went there in a year, but it still was those required steps to get there, you know, some of them fast and some of them slow. So not comparing yourself.
And Bridget will not, Bridget will tell you herself, like, if you compared her leadership ability to Helen McFadden or Sonia Dudley, who's been in the network marketing industry for 15 plus years. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't, Bridget and I, neither one of us have anything on those girls. Like, I messaged them asking them questions because they're gurus. I mean, you have that much experience. Like, I need some of that. You know, I don't need somebody that went diamond in 6 months or a year telling me, like, this is how I did it. No, you just signed up some really great people that got you there really, really quickly. You know, like, you still have to go through processes, but when you find rock stars, it is a lot easier. I'm just going to tell you, I was an Emerald and I got 3 rock stars the same month. And those 3 rock stars took me straight to diamond, Eric from senior gold to diamond within 5 or 6 months. And it was not. Eric was senior gold in January. He hit diamond in like July. So if y'all are senior gold on this call, look how quickly you can go. But I've been working out of those 3 people, I had been working 2 of them for over a year, and one's a diamond and one's an emerald. So I had been working them for a year. So the process of working and being consistent was still there. But just know, guys, that you can go super quick if you find a person of influence. So look for the Rossi. Really, look for people that are influential in their circle of people.
That's so good. Does anyone else have any questions? I don't even know what our time is at.
I have a Zoom
Mandy.
at the top, but I'm good now.
Okay. Mom, can you unmute Mandy? Because she's holding a baby.
Why is your name wrong?
I don't know. That's my little sister's name.
I know, because I was like, that is not.
Oh, I know why. This will tell you. My little sister sells oils. Yeah. And she was at my house one time and she did a thing on here. Yeah, I'm on her little. I just clicked in. I think it was whoever was the last one in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that kind of goes into my question. Amy, you were saying that in the beginning you kind of did some stuff wrong. You think, like, with just trying to get people on your team and maybe not holding their hand enough. I think I've totally done that a lot. But also because I have a lot of people on my team that aren't necessarily my friends. Like, they don't talk to me on the phone. I call them, they won't answer their phone. Like, it's kind of weird relationships that I've gotten on there, and they say they're so happy to be on the team. They say they want to work the business, and then literally nobody actually does. What did you do, or what did you see in yourself or do for yourself to motivate those people, or did you just keep adding more people and hope that those people would kind of jump on with the vision? Or did you do something different to get them motivated to say, look, you guys can do this too? Because I feel like I'm spinning my wheels and I get frustrated because I'm like, nobody wants to do this with me.
Do you have a runner yet?
I have a few girls that have added people, but they never order again.
So somewhere in that system you're doing, it sounds like the duplication is not there. Like you can't get that initial momentum thing going. Right. So this is what I would tell you to do. Okay. Do you have your own team page?
Yes.
Okay. So your newbies, I would put them all in a chat group and say, introduce yourself here. Like keep it 10 to 15 people. Introduce yourself here, post a picture, and then they're going to form sideline relationships. They're going to post questions in there, and I would just get that going. Okay. More on your team page, I would be posting more product stuff. And I will tell you this, because the more contests you post, the more team stuff. They're not interested in team stuff. Right. They're just wanting to get their products for wholesale, and they don't really want to tell anybody. They're not motivated. But you can, once you start posting more product stuff, they're going to read it and be like, oh, wow, I didn't know that about the probiotic. I started doing I was only posting like team stuff. And then I realized, wait, a lot of my people are wholesale ambassadors. So I started doing it more product based. And then you need to tell them you need to get bossy. Okay. So like you need to just call if they won't answer the phone, that's fine. Then message them and say, hey girl, I know you signed up this day. I really want to help you get your products paid for. What day works for you for me to do a video conference for 3 of your friends or family? And if they ignore you, say, hey, a couple days later, hey, I'm not sure. I know you're busy. I don't know if you saw my message, but I really want to help you get your products paid for. So what I do is I just tell people to pick a day and time, and I'm going to send them a Zoom link, and it's super easy. Just get a few people on there. Just try to be a little bit more forceful.
Okay.
Okay. I know that's going to be.
If you're not with people and they still ignore you, what do you do?
Move on. Okay. Yep. You have to. You just have to move on. Like, don't drag anyone. But you could be signing people up that should not be ambassadors. Okay. So I know y'all do a lot of incentives on your team. Those incentives sometimes create false momentum, and it's not, we don't do a ton of, I can't tell you the last time I did a contest, like probably years ago. I don't know. I don't do a ton of stuff like that because I feel like for me, I want to qualify people. Okay. So like those people probably should have been preferred customers and not ambassadors. And so that is something, Darcy, I didn't even think of to tell y'all. That would have been a huge learning curve for me. I signed everyone up as ambassadors because I just knew they were going to tell everybody. And now I'm like, no, I don't want you on my team at all. If you will not post on social media or you will not tell any of your friends and family, you're going to be a preferred customer.
Okay.
And if they say, well, I want the discount. No, sorry, you can't get that because you have to sell. They're going to give you a $10.99. So you're going to be a preferred customer. So that will help you a lot, is just qualifying them.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, that was great. I know you have a Zoom call here shortly, so we'll kind of start to wrap this up. But if there's anything anyone else would like to kind of add, I'm so thankful. And it comes down to, we're all looking for that magic answer. We're going to keep asking. But look, Amy is saying, she is reiterating and saying those things, a lot of the things that we hear. Listen to Amy, write these things down, do what she's telling you to do. It's a process and it's work. It's not magic. There's not going to be that magic answer. There is no right way to do it, but obviously there's a lot of wrong ways to do it. But doing something continually and persevering, don't be that 1,000 steps to nowhere, trying this and that and going all over. Do something, see if it works, and then keep doing that until you exhaust it. Everything that you try to do it until you exhaust it, instead of just bouncing around trying to get the quickest fix so you can get that immediate gratification, because it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Do what she's telling us to do and do what your uplines are telling you to do. and do them well. Eliminate all that excess stuff. Do your IPA. Write it down and do it every day. You know, that's what it takes. Doing that same thing over and over, and listening to Amy. I know I was frantically writing down notes, but I'm thankful we recorded this call. So thank you so much, Amy, for doing this for us. And we just love you. I love you. I love Judy Plexus. So yes.
Love you too. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Thank you, Amy,
yes.
so
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Yes. All right. All of you guys have a great night. We'll talk to you later. Read chapter 4 or law 4. Sorry. Chapter 5.
Bye, Jenica.
Right.
Bye, Darcy.
Hi, Jenny.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.